how are you? Okay, so you are in days 26, likely around between 26 and 40. And we're going to talk about a couple different things that we should be kind of touching base with in your business around this time. So the three topics we're going to talk about, amongst a couple other things, is the main ones are assembling possibility packets, brainstorming ways to present the opportunity, and then overcoming any objections you may get, as well as talking about the process of what where you are in your sensational start. So, okay, so let's go ahead and start with your possibility packets. We have these amazing little folders in the family store, which are already like just marketed gorgeously for you. So they pop out, they're eye-catching. I added a $99 sticker and then of course my label right here. So they have several ways to contact me. And then I suggest to add your, where did I just put it? What did I just do with it? I had a little sample. Anyways, you'd want to put your business card right here. And oh, there it is. Okay, so I actually have a sample attached to it. So this is a washer whiffs, and I have the scent on it. It says washer whiffs. And then whenever I give samples out, I usually put like a little description of how to use it. And you can just staple it onto the back. I haven't done that yet. You can find that in the Facebook group page called Layer on the Samples. And in the like photo section, you'll have to scroll, but you'll find the washer whiff description and the fragrance that you're using. So I made these actually like 2 months ago. I'm just getting out. I made a lot and I'm just running out now, and you can still smell the washer whiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my business card with my sample right in there. And so it's going to keep my package smelling good, and they're going to see that there's something in there because it's kind of risen. So other things that I like to include in my possibility packets is 2 catalogs with, I haven't done this yet, but make sure you label the catalogs. And then I like to put like some fun stickers on there that just kind of, you know, market everything. It already says join for $99, but I would probably add another, you know, bold sticker like the one like this. So it just kind of brightens it up and pops out at them. And so this is a way that they can start, you know, introducing the product in a catalog to people they may know, which will help them probably just have a feel of how many people would actually be buying from them. Because if they show this to their friend or their mom or whoever, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. They're kind of like, oh, well, people might buy it. I might actually make some money. Now, this is an old Warmer of the Month flyer. All my new ones are downstairs, but I always attach a Warmer of the Month flyer. So whatever month you're in, I definitely suggest to have these flyers. Now you can enroll in the Warm of the Month kit or Scent of the Month kit in your accounts tab. And there's many benefits to enrolling. I actually have a video that talks about that. So you'll learn more about that. You get PRV on it, on the product. The value is far more than what you pay. So it's a discounted kit that you get, and you have all these business supplies and products to market. And 50 of these come in that. So, and along with the rub and sniffs. Okay. So I would put the Warmer of the Month or in any type of a promotion that's going on. We have marketing tools that you can print out in your workstation. And so I would include those. I always include other people's stories in my possibility packet. So I literally printed off 2 people, all type of personalities, type of industry they're in, career fields, everything. So just lifestyle. So they can have an idea of the different type of people that can join Scentsy, along with, of course, your story. Now, this for a long time, and after about 4 years, I would say, maybe 3.5, I created like a brochure, front and back. It's like a fold out that has my marketing by host join on it. But on the inside, it actually has my Scentsy story and photos and kind of like a thank you to my customers and things like that. So you would include your story in there. And in a possibility packet, I actually have the opening is opened up to join. So that's what we're talking to them about joining the business. In your workstation, you can print out 10 top reasons to join Scentsy, which is a very good kind of idea. They may not even realize those are things that they can to them, because it's not always just about money. So there's parts about be part of something bigger than just sales, the opportunity to give back. There's awards. Maybe they they have a career that they work full time, they just never get rewarded or recognized. So that would feel really appealing to them. Let's see, building a team. And so just being a part of a team. Maybe they used to be in sports or some type of, you know, band or something that they felt like a part of a team, and they may miss that. And so this is something that they would be thinking about. So anyways, there's 10 different top tips that a lot of people think about. I stamp it and I label it. Nothing leaves your house without your information. So obviously my story has my information on it, but of course I labeled the back of my flyer. And I even have a label with my contact information at the top of the stories of those people. And what I did is I just went to their websites and I copied and pasted their picture, exactly what's in their story. These, there's a more updated version of the join brochures. These are what you could buy for, I think they're like $3 for like 25 or 50 in the family store. So these are what I used, guys, for years in my business, and they work. So don't think just because you don't have a fancy smanchy, you know, fold out story thing yet, that you can't build a team, because I built my foundation of my business using all the supplies that Scentsy has. So don't go breaking your bank. Again, I didn't even decide to do that until I was doing a huge fundraiser in, I think it was like 2013, maybe 14, 2 years ago. And I just wanted to give an extra like thank you and introduction to my clients. So I figured I would invest in it. And I ended up just loving having that type of a flyer and a thank you and just everything in one. So I decided to start investing in those. But I was at the point in my business that I could add more investment into my business, because I was making a level of income that was fulfilling everything else I need to. And then I was able to put back into my business to help my business grow. So these are definitely effective, but just don't forget, if you're using these, to print out your story, because they need to know about you. You're their future sponsor, why you joined Scentsy, what you love about it, the products, the people, your hostesses, your clients, your relationships, whatever that may be, the ability to stay home with your kids or bring more income to your family, to vacation, to travel, to, I don't know, put clothes on your kids' backs for school, because school supplies gets very expensive. Oh my gosh, we just bought school supplies for both kids, and spent $150 just on school supplies, not even their clothes. So that gets expensive. So we have to really kind of open the people's minds that, you know, they may be paying their bills and they're kind of fine financially, but they're forgetting about the times about school supplies and when it gets really tight during the holidays. So you kind of just might remind them, like, do you like feeling that tightness and kind of not being able to do what you want to with gifts, or cutting back on supplies and feeling bad that you can't give them as much as they need? You know, this is a way that you can be saving all year, and then when school supplies are needed, you have plenty of money. When school clothes are ready to go, you have plenty. When vacation comes around, you've got plenty of money to not only buy all the supplies that you need, but the travel expenses and souvenirs and things like that. So just remember, people just don't really think about all that because they're so used to dealing with it, of just, oh God, I need all this money, I'm stressed, I have to juggle around bills. You know, maybe bring up the fact that, hey, when the gets a flat tire and, you know, you can't roll around on a donut for too long with a big SUV, so you're gonna need to replace that tire. So that's extra money that nobody thinks about. So putting kind of like a extra car fund it away when the transmission goes out, or like my that happened to me once in Scentsy, and I was able to pay it cash, which was amazing. And my husband just had to buy 4 new tires. All 4 of them were bald, and we buy all 4. That was $1,000. We were able to do it. So this is something you should be thinking about too, not just the people you're giving the introduce. You know, this should be helping you build that why of like, oh my gosh, I need all that stuff. So this is why you should be giving the opportunity to help build your income, and why you should be sharing Scentsy to, you know, goal yourself to a certain amount to make a certain income, which we're going to talk about as well. So this is the packets that I suggest. I always suggest for everybody to pass out at least 5 of these a month, at least. Because statistics show that the more opportunity you give, you're basically planting seeds, and eventually somebody's going to basically see, wow, this is a great opportunity. I think I'm going to try it out. But if you're only doing it every now and then, and you're choosing who you're giving the opportunity to, you're slimming your chances. So my biggest tip, besides having one of these ready, is to be putting these flyers inside every warmer. And I don't care, guys, if your client bought 3 warmers. I don't care if they bought from you 10 times. Every time they get a warmer, they should have one of these in. And if they don't get warmers, put it in their bag of bars, because this is so they can consistently see, visually see, you know, this opportunity. It may not be for them the first time they see it. It may not be for them the 10th time they see it. But eventually, you never know when their circumstances change. So I'm sure you can find a time in your life that your circumstances changed. Maybe that's why you joined Scentsy, and you're like, hey, I kind of do need some extra income, or I need to get out of the house, or I need something. You're feeling a void of something that you didn't have by joining Scentsy, okay? Whether you realize it or not. Maybe you're like, no, I didn't avoid it, just thought it'd be fun, you know? Well, maybe you wanted to add fun to your life even more. You may have a fun life, but you're like, why not add more? So that's what I mean by fulfilling a need, okay? All right. Every single person should be given the opportunity that you sell to. The reason why is, again, we're going to get back to the statistics. Statistics show that if you talk to, let's say, a small number of 10 people, 1 to 2 people are going to actually be interested. So if you're being selective with who you talk to and share this opportunity to, if you sell to 20 people, talk to one of them about the opportunity, and that one person says no, is done, right? But if you are asking all 10 people, it's very likely if one says no, another one may say yes, another one say maybe, no for now, but talk to me in 6 months. So you're giving yourself a bigger probability of people to actually be interested. So the reason why you are giving people the opportunity, because you're like, oh my God, this is my biggest person that buys from me, I'm not going to have any sales, is because, one, sponsoring is going to give you a greater income and a larger stability in your future financially than sales, okay? Think about this. This one person maybe they buy a lot. Maybe they buy $200 from you. But those people, that one person knows probably about 100 people, whether they realize it or not. And so if that one person stops buying directly from you, they're going to, you're going to lose the PRV, which is the commissionable sales that you get immediately off that sale. So I think it's once you become a certified consultant, we all are striving for, right? And hopefully many of you are very close, or you've already done it. So whoosh, high five. Okay, so 200 times 0.25, a $50 check. So think about this. You're losing $50 now. Hey, that same person sells, because they've just not only bought from themselves, but then they've asked their mom, their friend, their sister, their cousin, their blah, 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 blah. So that is going to be, to get your wholesale volume, which is how you get commission off of your downline once you build one, you multiply it by 75%. Okay, that's in your startup guide in case you don't remember this, but you basically take the PRV of the sales. You have to look at actually a PRV in the workstation when you're putting in an order, and then multiply by that 75. So 2,000, that's 1,500 in wholesale volume. Okay, so I am going to pull out the compensation, or excuse me, the standard the standards, which is in the compensation plan is in there and it's on page 9. Which I hope that you've printed out your standards already, right? Right? Just kidding. Okay, so you are going to make, in the beginning, you would promote automatically to your $4,000 because that's $1,500 in wholesale volume, okay? And so I want you to pull this out so you see what I'm talking about while you're watching this, okay? Your minimum is $500 all the way up to Superstar Director in order to be paid off of your sponsoring bonuses, okay? Your wholesale has to be $1,000. Now remember, if your member sold $2,000 and you yourself have to put in the $500, so that's $2,500 in PRV times 75, wholesale volume up to 1,875, okay? So now you qualified to promote to lead. Now you actually get a bonus of 2% off of your own volume. So that's, let's say minimum you did $500. So you're going to get 2% off of your 375 wholesale volume. 500 PRV, I multiplied it by 75, and then, which is 375 wholesale volume, okay? Then I'm going to times that by 0.2%. So that's $7.50, okay? Now you're saying, Jess, that's not $50, right? Bear with me. Okay, then you're going to get 2% off of their wholesale volume. So then again, that was $1,500 in wholesale volume times another 2%. So there's $30 plus, oops, excuse me, 7.5. So, okay, you are going to be losing technically only, you're only losing $12.50. It's too bright. Can you see it? Anyways, $12.50. But you're gaining a team member. I lowered the brightness so maybe you could see it. Anyways, $12.50 is what you're actually losing from that person. Okay. As well as you're giving them an opportunity to provide for themselves, make some income off for themselves, make a discount for themselves. And then when they start to build a team, that percentage builds and builds and builds, okay? So eventually, the sacrifice now is going to be 10 times greater by building a team, because what's going to happen is eventually you're still going to be putting in the same type of effort and work that you were doing in the beginning, but your production is going to be greater. So what that's called is building leverage with your business. So you're working smarter, not harder. Because if you try to sell yourself without a team, you're going to be selling and working your butt off forever to get those sales and get that commission. You can get the same amount, if not more, actually more, if you're truly trying to build a business with a team with less amount of work. And we'll get more in depth with that later on. But I want you to realize that. Sacrifice now in order for later to have that greater result. For other people, it's not just about you. Think about, you're blessing somebody else with an opportunity to make extra income, be a part of the team as well. You get to do it together. You have a peer now, a Scentsy sister or brother. And that is so fulfilling and rewarding in itself. I promise you that. And eventually you will be compensated by that sacrifice. Okay. I'm here to tell you that's the truth. So my husband used to be like, what? You're giving your parties away to these new hostesses when we need the PRV today? And I was just like, trust me, babe, I promise. And now he is so happy that I did what I did. I'm telling you that now. Okay. So the moral of this story so far is that in order to grow a business and an income, a consistent income that you can rely on with your Scentsy business, is you need to be offering the opportunity to everyone. A lot of people get scared. Well, if everybody joins, then I'm not going to have anybody to sell to. That is not going to happen. because again, statistically, not everybody's going to join. And if you go through a period that everybody does, and I went through that too, it was kind of like exciting but scary. I admit it. But eventually people are, you're going to come across the people it's just not for them. And they're going to stay your clients. They're going to stay your hostesses. I promise you that. There's going to be people out there that don't want it. So if you're in the positive mindset of like, oh my gosh, what if everybody joins? That's a good problem to have, okay? You will find other clients elsewhere, as long as you're doing your training to learn how to market and to meet new people. So aside from my trainings, I really hope that you're already utilizing the all consultant training webinars in the training center, and going in that training center regularly and looking up existing trainings about marketing, meeting new people, how to book parties, things like that. 1 second. It's time to take my medication. Okay. So, opportunity packets. Have these with you, especially at your parties, because your hostess and your guests are more likely to become consultants than people that just randomly buy your product. Although they are, again, I told you that you have to make sure they know that this is an opportunity to them, because here's another secret. People think they're stepping on your toes. Even though you're giving them the flyer, they don't realize that you're actively saying, I would love you to join the Scentsy family and join the journey with me. So we have to also follow up and actually say, did you get the flyer I put in there? What did you think about it? Because sometimes they think that they're going to be taking away your business and they want to support you. So you need to explain to them, you're supporting me by joining. And so then we could do this together and everybody's winning. Okay. So goal yourself to at least minimum 5 of these a month. I will tell you that statistically, and it's all statistics, it's all facts, it's math, it's been proven, that the people that grow their income the fastest in this business are passing out 5 of these a week. Okay, so that's 1 basically a day, give or take, 2 days that you don't see somebody to give them to. So but the reason why is because they get more results faster, because the more you give out, the more seeds you plant, the more you're going to get a return. So you decide, again, these are investments. I know you don't have to buy these. For the longest time, people, I built my foundation off of the cheapest ways possible. I would go to the dollar store and stock up, or sometimes I didn't even spend that much money. I would go and find any deal I can get, 20 cents a binder, excuse me. This is one of them. You see how like old and beat up this is? This is one that I got when I first started and I still use it. I got it for like 30 cents on sale. Okay. So you can be a bargain shopper and still get the same results as these, but just instead of choosing like a black binder, get a color that's bright. That's all. Maybe put some stickers on it. That's what I used to do. I used to put stickers on it to make it look more fun and pretty. So you don't have to say, Jess, I can't do that. Figure out what you can do. Okay. Make sure your Scentsy story is in all of your orders so people know about you. Make sure you're sharing your story with your clients at parties when you're, when you're getting to know your clients. It's very important. So they really want to support you in your business. All right. Let's see. We're getting short on time here. So, okay, let's brainstorm about some objectives. And actually, let me be more specific of who you would want to be thinking about initially when you're building your team. Think about somebody that when you get exciting news, like, oh my God, I can't believe it. The first person you think of to talk to, not your spouse, because your spouse is legally a part of your business. Just so you know, they can't join your team. So your mom, your sister, your best friend from high school, your best friend today, whoever that you're let them know that is going to be your Scentsy buddy from the get-go. My best friend from high school, she's the first person I thought of when I joined Scentsy. We actually hadn't talked for over 2 years, talked to each other because I was living in a different state, different time zones. I was a mom with 2 small kids. She's single. She had the single life. I didn't. So it was hard for us to coordinate. But and we let that be an excuse, unfortunately. But Scentsy is what made us connect again. I was like, oh my gosh, I know Danielle would love this, because she loved animals, and there was this warmer that had little paw prints all over it. And so I immediately thought of her. So open up your catalog, guys. Start looking through the products and think of who this specific product, who is MLB lovers, and contact that person. Let them know, I thought of you when I saw this and it made me want to call you. That's going to rekindle relationships. And then it's also going to introduce them to your business, whether it's to buy initially, to host with you, or to join with you. And don't be afraid to say, you know, it's great that you want to buy this, but I really want you to join with me. This is so awesome. I want you to do this with me. We can learn together. We can have fun. We could possibly travel together if you know. So there's just so many opportunities. And when I, you know, succeed, I want to tell, you're the person I think of. I want you to know. And so you being a part of it will be that much more fun. Okay, some other ideas is, again, just going through the catalog is going to make you think of people. So those are the people you want to be inviting to your launch party, but you're past your launch party. I hope you've already done your launch party. But that's going to help you think out of the box. People that you haven't thought about, that you didn't invite to your launch party. Whether you realize it or not, there are people that you know that you didn't think of. So now it's time to start thinking out of the box, okay? Your kids' teachers, your, you know, their Sunday school teachers. Are you a part of any type of a mommy group or whatever? If you're not, join one. That's how you're going to meet people. That's going to be fulfilling just within yourself. But it's also going to open up yourself to opportunities and give you the opportunity to build your business. Okay. So now objections. Huh? Okay. Thank you. Tell them I'll be done in a little bit. So objections, you're going to hear people that say, these are some common objections. I'm too busy. You're going to hear that a lot. I'm too busy. What I always say is that is the beauty of Scentsy. Doesn't matter how busy you are. Actually, the busier you are, the more people you see, the more places you're going. So the beauty of Scentsy is you get to bring your business. You can collect orders and share your catalog wherever you go, whether you're on the baseball field, whether you're, at work, whether you are, traveling to go see your sister. You can bring your business with you and work around your schedule. You can literally close orders from your phone because of technology now. So you could be literally maybe bus or something, or traveling or whatever. And I was literally, you guys, in another country and closing orders, which was so awesome. Okay. So, on a vacation. So, I mean, literally we have the tools now with social media you could be as busy as you want to be and still be marketing and taking orders and answering questions and working your business around everything else. So that is one, an objection you can overcome with. You could say, you know what, the busier you are, the better. Because it's not going to be as hard to get in front of new people because you're out and about. People like me, just an example, I work from home and I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I have to actually get myself out of the house to need to go out of the house. So it's harder for me to get out and about than somebody that has a job or that's really busy. So now the people that are like me, you're like thinking, exactly, I don't know anybody. I never go anywhere. Well, that's what I did. I created places for me to go. Instead of waiting, to, go get milk, even though we usually go when we're going grocery shopping with everything, I would make a point to take a walk to get some milk because I didn't have a car when I started. That got me out into circulation. Again, I joined like mommy groups and just different type of activities that I never would have done if it wasn't for Scentsy. I not only built my business by gaining clients and hostesses and consultants, but I built friendships. So think out of the box. What type of community programs can you get involved with? Is your kids in sports? Those people, parents, their coaches, they are opportunities. But you have to think about it that way. You can't think that they don't need you or they don't need Scentsy. You have to think it with the mindset that everybody There's an option for everybody, no matter who you are and what you do. Scentsy can fulfill a need, okay? But that's a mindset that you have to program your brain to have. Otherwise, you will miss opportunities. I don't want you guys to come to me crying one day and say, oh my gosh, my best friend joined Scentsy because I didn't talk to her about it because I thought she was too busy, or I thought she made too much money, or I thought that this just wasn't her thing. You don't want that feeling, right? So you never know until you ask. So let everybody know that this is an opportunity for them. And the more people you get to know, share your business with them. Hey, this is what I do. Have you ever heard about it? You know, I'd love for your feedback. Let me know what you think. That's how you can get people interested in your business. Now that that's just one objective, but let me give one more option, one more common objection that we get. Another one is, I don't know anybody. Well, I just gave you guys a ton of ways to get to know, find somebody. Most people, when I tell them this is what I do, they're like, yeah, right, I'm not going to do that. But hello, you have to decide, do you really want your business to grow or not? Because if I give you an option and you don't take it, then that means you don't need it or want it that bad. That's just what it is. That's just like if you're telling me you have a headache and I say, you know, here's a glass of water that's going to hydrate you, as well as if it's not going away, maybe you need to take a little bit of painkiller, you know, and maybe you need to take a nap to rest it off. And you deny me every single option. Well, then that means it's not bothering you that bad because you're not taking any resources. Same idea, guys. Okay. So, getting to know people means you have to get out of your box. You have to get out of your comfort zone. So, what I did is I literally walked my neighborhood to meet my neighbors. That was something I learned on a training call. I never would have thought to do that. It was scary. I'm like, what do I say? I had been in that neighborhood for over a year. And so, was embarrassed that I'd been living there and I never even introduced myself. But I was like, you know what? There's no better time than now. So I literally walked my neighborhood, introduced myself. Hey, I'm your neighbor. You know, I really want to get to know the people I live around. I'm sorry I've been your neighbor for over a year. So I just wanted to say hi. And I'm also having a little party at the end of the week that I wanted to invite you to because I don't really know anybody and I thought it'd be kind of fun for you to come. And you know what? Here's the thing. Not everybody's going to come. Just face it. Some people are going to go, thanks, but no thanks. But at least it's starting, you're planting the seed. You're starting the seed of a relationship that you never know where it will go. Okay. Some people were like, okay. And they came to my party. Let's see. Out of the like 20 houses I knocked on, 1, 2, 3 people came out of 20 houses. But guess what? I gained relationships with people that didn't come because I had opened the door of relationships. So again, you just have to ask yourself, how bad do you want to know people and meet people? And because this is a business of relationships, people and people. If you don't want to know people, it's going to be very hard for you to build your business. I'm just being honest with you. Okay. All right. Now, since we're running out of time, let's go ahead and talk about, real fast, just a kind of a last tip about the objections. Listening is very important. Listen to what they're actually saying to you and ask yourself, is this objection, is it something that they don't want from me? Is it the opportunity itself? And what about the opportunity that's making them hesitate? So what stops you from wanting to, hi babes, what stops you from wanting to, maybe I can help you answer the, so that's going to really help you kind of overcome those objections. But listening is very important. If we just kind of, you know, information, like right now I'm training you guys, so I have to give you all this information. But when I'm talking to somebody that's interested, I do more listening than talking. I respond to their concerns and then I educate. But it's very important to first listen. Okay? All right. Where are you in your sensational start? Do you even know what your sensational start means? I hope you do. I hope that you have your startup guide with you at all times and you've read it a few times by now. Shame on you if you haven't. And is the breakdown of your sensational start. So you have about another month left, maybe more, depending on if you're where you are in your business, but this video is coming to you between 26 and 40, day 26 and 40. So you have at least 30 days left. So you have plenty of time. So find out where you are in your lifetime PRV, which is on your workstation. Okay. You can go into your, home page, and on the left-hand side where all of your stats are, where your PRV is for the month, it will say lifetime PRV. So see where you are to these goals. Level 1's 1250 in sales, or how many new recruits have you sponsored, or for this one. When you move down to level 2, it's a little bit higher in PRV, or lower in PRV but more, but also sponsoring. And then when you get to level 3, which is the goal that everybody should be going for, because that statistically shows people that hit level 3 build their business and a foundation of their business early on, which builds that momentum that helps them push them forward to continue to grow their business. Okay. They've built enough sales and clientele. They've sponsored enough team members that they've built that foundation. Okay. So that's the goal everybody should be striving for. And, here's just a little tip. It's possible. Believe it's possible because other people do it. I did it, guys. I didn't know anybody, and I still sold over $5,000, and I sponsored over 6 people in my first 70 days. So if I can do this, I mean, I'm the one that can tell you guys it's possible, because it's not like I had a huge resource of people that wanted to buy from me or that I even knew. I created them. Okay. I found these people within those 70 days and beyond, and I still do that. So when there's a will, there's a way. And so, but the first step is believing that it's possible and that it's possible for you. If you tell yourself that you can't do it, you won't. You're right. You can't do it because you won't do the actions. But if you believe it's possible and you say you can, you're going to continue to work and step out of your comfort zone and take the actions that are going to give you a result. Okay. So figure out where you are. And if you haven't, say, you didn't know about your sensational start, it's okay. Where are you now? Let's start now and start goaling. Are you close to, most of you should be close to, at least, most people hit level 1, because as long as you are hitting your shooting star, you're starting with goaling for yourself for that first goal, then your next goal is to certify. You're only 1250 away from your level 1. So most of you have already done that, or you're very close. And so all you have to do is just start paying attention. So what I really like you to do is start striving and thinking of a plan of how to achieve at least level 2, if not level 3, in this next 30 plus days in your sensational start 70 days. Okay. If you need help planning that out and strategizing with plans, let me know. Respond to the email and say, hey, I really want to hit level 3. You know, or level 2, and I need assistance kind of mapping this out. Can you help me? Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. Okay. But I don't know you need help unless you tell me. Okay. I don't read minds, unfortunately. I'd be a lot richer if I did. But anyways, so the more you communicate with me, the more I can help you. The more I know you want help, the more I will help. So basically it's a give. You know, you come to me, I will reciprocate. But again, you are an independent consultant, so it's your own business. So if I don't hear from you, I just have to assume you're busy and you're achieving the goals you want to achieve. So whether they're this big or this big. So just know that I'm here for you, but I need your communication. I need you to let me know that you're struggling in any way, or you're not struggling yet, but you want to make sure you don't struggle to connect with me too, for that. You don't want that to start happening. You may be booming your business and you just want to stay on that pace. And so you want a little bit of assistance on that strategy. So for our next webinar, we will be talking about how important it is to follow up with your leads and your clients. So there is a video that's already made of some ideas of follow-ups, just kind of like a glimpse of what you should be doing now, because you have been in the business long enough that you have customers already. they've already bought from your launch party. And so a glimpse of what you should be doing is after you've delivered those orders. And now if you didn't do that, don't worry. You could start now. Make today day one of your follow-up system, because you haven't been in business long enough that they're like thinking, where did she go? You know, they just got their product within the last month or so. So call them and just say, hey, I just want to check on you and see how your warmers are doing. Are they working well? What do you think about your fragrances? Depending on what they bought. I mean, pay attention to their order and say, hey, I noticed you bought the laundry, you know, detergent. What do you think about that? Or liquid, not detergent. You know, tell me, give me your feedback. This is not a sales call. This is not to get an order. You may get one. It may happen, but you're not calling for that. You're calling to make sure that they are happy with their product. And if they're not, you're able to. What I personally do, if they, I always let people know if they're buying a fragrance for the first time, I say, try just a cube or two, see if you like it. And then if you hate it for some reason, you know, I swap it out. What I do is I'll take that bar and I'll make samples out of it. And then in my next order, whenever I get free credit, I let them know you may have to wait a while. If I don't have stock, which most of you probably don't have a lot, if not any, just say my next order that I get any free product in, I will purchase the next another bar for you. Usually they're fine with that. They're like, really? Oh, okay, that's great. Here's the thing, guys, with the wax, is that there's layers of notes of fragrance, okay? So when they smell our testers, they generally smell the top note. And so they may like it when they smell the testers, but then when the bottom and the mid note come into that, when they're warming it, they may end up not liking it. So that's why you want to check on them. And, you know, you don't want them to hate their products, because that's going to turn them off for future purchases. So if you nip that in the butt right then and be like, oh, I guess we picked one that wasn't to your fancy. So let's look, that's why we have over 80 fragrances. It's because there's something for everybody. We are going to keep trying until we find something you love, okay? That's why we're called consultants. We're consulting to help our clients find what is best for them, okay? And then you're going to call around 2 weeks after that, okay? Checking in, see how everything's going. Let them know whatever's new going on. It's very likely where, depending on, unless they placed an order and you delivered on the 1st and you called 2 days later, 2 weeks later, it's possible. Scentsy pops up promotions out of nowhere during the month sometimes. But if nothing else new is going on, just call just say, hey, I'm just checking on you, just making sure that you're still loving the products, nothing's changed. And again, they will let you know. At this point, they may be like, you know what, I'm actually in love with Perfectly Pomegranate and I kind of want to get more now because I want to stock up. And you never know. And then after that, you want to call about 2 months later if you haven't had an order yet. If they haven't contacted you, at the end of your 2-week call, just say, hey, just let you know I'll be calling you in probably in a couple months just to double check, because you seem to be fine for now. And see if you're in the need of any more bars or anything, and I'll let you know of any promotions that have come up. Since you're telling them that's going to happen, you're pretty much preparing them that you're going to call, and they will generally accept it. And they're like, okay, that's fine. And that's when generally you will probably be getting another order if they're utilizing their products, okay? That's another reason why you want to call, is because if you don't call, they may have their warmers in a box for 2 months and they just don't even ever set it up. But if you're calling to say, how do you like it? They're going to go, oh, wow, I never plugged that in. Or I never used it. I forgot that I had the washer whiffs or whatever. And it makes them actually start the process. Just think, products that aren't used are products they're not going to be. Just think about it that way, okay? You have a consumable product that you can create an income out of your consistent orders, okay? So we have to make sure they're actually utilizing the orders and the products. If 2 months comes around and there's something wrong generally. They're either not using their products as often. Why? Ask them, how often do you generally when do you use them? And you're going to find out. They're going to say, oh, I really only use them like on the weekends and for a couple hours, or I travel a lot, I'm not home. And you'll find out it's not our products, it's just they don't go through it a lot because they don't use it a lot. So then that's a note you need to take. So you're not thinking they just don't want the product, that you know that maybe you need to contact them like every 6 months and still send them little, you know, postcards or whatever, just so they know you're there. But don't get worried unless 6 months has gone by and they haven't needed anything. Okay. Party booked, which I hope you guys do, because a business without parties booked isn't a business, right? We can't move forward. So hopefully you're all actively booking parties off of your launch party that you've done, and you're still rolling with that. You're starting. Anybody that shows interest has shown interest up until this time, and then up until your parties, invite those people to the parties. Want to come in and just see what I do, you know, and then they're going to see how simple it really is, and it's going to give them more of the courage to say, oh, maybe I can do this. So keep it simple, guys. One of our core values is simplicity. Crazy and bringing like 10 bags and in and out of the house, and utilize what's there. Tables that you don't have to, and I mean table, unless they literally have no display area that you can set up your warmers. I personally set up warmers in areas that they would generally put the warmers, so that people can visually see and their house would look. So we really want real life displays. If there's nowhere to do that, that's when you'll have your little small fold-up table in your car that you're prepared to get out. But the goal is to never have to, you know, bring an extra table. Okay, that's what keeps it simple. Because you want to think about it. Somebody that doesn't, that has a bad back, they're not very strong. They'll be like, oh my God, I can't lift that. I can't do that. So I can't do this business. Make it as simple as possible. You want people to say, I can do that. That wasn't that hard. Setting goals, guys. Very important to be setting goals every month. You set your goal for your 500. You set your goal for your certified, and hopefully most of you are close to earning it or have already earned it. So you see the power in setting goals. So every single month, think about, you know, what do I want to achieve this month? What type of a paycheck do I want to, now every month that you sell over $2,000, you get a 5% sales bonus. So I don't know about you, 2,000, that was very appealing to me, $600. That was a huge, huge benefit in the beginning of my business. That contributed, that paid our car payment off the bat. So that was always my goal, $2,000, no matter what. Okay, that's 4 home parties, guys, 1 a week, and goaling it to 500 every month. Okay, and then maybe throw some basket parties out, bag parties, whatever you want to call them. You know, people go to their work or whatever on the go parties, and that'll fill in order to, you know, get some orders here and there. And you may end up hitting over 2,000. I've done it. I did it for 2 years, and I still do it. I did it solid for 2 years. I sold over 2,000, and now I still sell over $1,000 or more every single month. Follow-up systems that I just shared with you, and the goal setting that I have. See, when you set a goal, you're more likely to keep working than, you know, just stop working because you're like, I haven't achieved my goal yet, right? I still have to work my business. And then setting goals for actually how many, you know, people you're going to actually bring on that month. So if you are having 4 home parties a month, you're generally about 24 to 50 people every month. And if you are asking 24 to 50 people, 1 to 2 people are going to be joining your team. Statistics, right, guys? Just, it's the numbers game. So that's called the 2-year plan. Plan is basically 5 steps that everybody should be striving for in order to be making what doctors and lawyers make every year, which is a 6-figure income within your first 2 years. Now, there is and then we'll be pretty much done for this webinar. But first, the biggest key to these steps is you have to be training your team members to be doing the same thing. You can do all this with flying colors for 2 years straight, but if you're not teaching your team members the 2-year plan as well, and for them to be following it, you're not going to achieve that doctors and lawyers push it out to probably about 5 to 6 years. Okay. But hey, I know that even when I heard that, I'm like, in 5 to 6 years, I could be making what doctors and lawyers make. Okay. That's less time that they took to, right? College, then law school, then they got to build their. So this is like a 6-figure income. If you look at it that way. Fast track overnight. It's, 5 to 6 years, I can be making a salary of 6 figures, around 6 figures. That's pretty worth it, right? I'm telling you it is. Okay. So the 5 steps that you want to know about is selling $2,000 every month to get your 5% sales bonus, sponsoring 1 to 2 people every month, being on your training calls, guys. You can't grow your business if you're not growing yourself and learning new things. Consistently, not, oh, I was on the first new consultant call. I'm calling you out on this, guys. So when you think about it, if you want to make what doctors and lawyers make, you have to put in the work. You can't work one day and say, oh, okay, where's my paycheck? You have to be constantly growing and learning and treating it like a business. And that's how you'll be paid like a business, okay? So you have a weekly conference call with me, which is the Monday night at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And emailed every week a reminder, all the information. It's also in our Facebook group page on the banner, all the information. So if you haven't been on yet and you're just learning this now, okay. And there's also a Saturday call that's available, and which is with our upline, Becca, Levi, and Callie Petticord. They have a bigger call with a lot more people around the organization that share. So that's another resource. And then your training center. There's YouTube, there's resources, but start small, because that is time that you have to average into your daily schedule and your weekly schedule. So if you can only commit to maybe 1 a week, that's more than nothing, guys, and you will be growing. So commit to our call, your Scentsy family, your team members, your Scentsy sisters and brothers, your upline, which is myself. So you'll have a familiar face, a familiar voice, whatever. So listen to training calls. And then the 5th step, I'm actually going blank because I'm like, I used to know this like the back of my hand. I'm going a blank. If you go onto the Facebook group page, Director Lauren Clift, she achieved that this month, this month is August that I'm doing this training, and she achieved that. And so I posted in the group page, you can find in the files. Okay, so the first one is commit to recorded calls. Number 2 is keep 1 or more basket parties out a month. Okay, so that's again to fill in those extra PRV orders that your home parties may not quite hit 500, so it kind of like helps fill that in and get your parties to over 500 a week. And then commit to selling $2,000 minimum every month, which you'll be hiring 2 to 3, as long as you're giving the opportunity to everybody that you sell to and talk. And then committing to those live home parties, because you can't get those sales if you're not committing to do the parties, right? So pick a day of the week that you do your home parties, that you have to leave the house for maximum 4 hours to do your parties, get there, leave, and then come back. Okay. So, oh, I have a phone call coming in. It's the mortgage thing, babe. They're asking for our paperwork, which I need here. I'm on a live video right now. No, you need to give me pay stubs. Argument. We're doing a refinance right now. Anyways, so those are 5 things, 5 steps. And so it's a system, guys. It's a system. So if you're doing the live home parties and giving 1 to 2 basket parties out, you're going to hit your 2,000. If you're telling everybody that you're selling to about the opportunity, you're going to be asking enough people every month in order to hire 2 to 3 people on. If you're educating yourself every month, you're going to be learning new ways to get parties booked and meet new people. Does that make sense? It all goes together. It's a formula, guys. Okay. And then you're on your way. But once you start building these two to three people every month and bringing them on, share the same system. Let them know what you're doing. And eventually you're going to build a nice, strong foundation of a business that you're going to be very proud you did. All right. So your challenge now is to book 3 new parties to, from today. Start goaling yourself that you are going to book 3 more parties. But we want parts close to level 3 as possible. Okay. Again, if you need assistance with this, personal one-on-one meet and analyze your specific business and where you're at, let me know and we'll set up time. Okay. You're all doing great. You're listening to this video. So that's a huge step of actually training yourself. And so thank you for that. Give me feedback too, guys. If you need more information, if it's too much information, that's really good, helpful. Okay. Brain's like fried right now. Here's a tip. Don't watch the videos all at once. Do it in increments. You know, watch a little bit, take a break, and be taking notes while you're actually, which I'm sure most of you are, but so then you can act, and then if the questions pop up while I'm talking, write them down, and then when I can answer those questions. All right. You're amazing. You can achieve anything that you believe that you can. And so I'm excited that you're on this journey, and I'm here to help in any way that I can. Until next time, have a sensational day. Bye.